Good morning! It is 7:20 a.m. I've definitely started waking up later and going to bed later since coming to Spain. The sun actually rises quite late here, and breakfast only starts at 8. My day revolves around mealtime, so I had to adjust. I got a subscription to The Atlantic recently because I don't want to look at social media in the morning, but I do feel more awake after my phone screen has burned my retinas a little bit, so it's like a good compromise. No matter where I am, Spain, the US, wherever, I need to do my morning routine. There was one day that I literally woke up right before class, and then I did my morning routine when I got back home at 2 p.m. because I just couldn't get on with the rest of my day without properly doing my routine. So I do some stretches and exercises, I take a cold shower for 30 seconds, do my skincare routine, and then I journal about what I'm looking forward to that day. This usually only takes a few minutes. I like to use a paper notebook and pen because screens are just really distracting and I want to be as focused as possible in the morning. I do a quick glance at my emails and I also check my to-do list. I plan my week in advance, so everything is pretty much set for the day, so I just review it. I see what my schedule is for the day. I love time blocking how long each of my tasks is gonna take me because I find that really helps me to beat procrastination. And then it was time for breakfast. Breakfast for me is like meditation. It's very important to me that I start my day not thinking about work, savoring my food, talking to other people at the table, or listening to a podcast if I'm alone. It's like that buffer that I need between planning my day and actually starting my day. After breakfast, I went back up to my room for a quick Zoom meeting, and then I had some homework that I needed to do. Ew. I like to do my homework in the morning before anything else in the day has a chance to distract me. Today, I just set a 25-minute Pomodoro timer. I'm gonna try to finish editing our group presentation for globalization class. That's what I really like about Pomodoros is I think I work faster when I have these mini goals to reach. So I'm gonna try to do that and then read an article also for globalization class. Usually during my breaks, I like to just go around my room and pick up some clothes that might be on the floor or fill up my water bottle, use the bathroom, just go stare out the window. Anything that will get me away from the screen and not thinking about work. Okay, that's enough talking. I really need to get this done. My group is waiting for me. Okay, the video is uploading. I need to pack my backpack now. I'm gonna be on campus for 9 hours. I have a notebook for taking notes in class, pencil case. I have this little bag, wallet, hand sanitizer, gum, pen, sunglasses, lip balm. Since I'm gonna be there for a while, I'm definitely gonna bring all of my chargers, water bottle. I am vlogging today, so I've got my camera, extra batteries. Oh, headphones. I almost forgot. I have no time for lunch today, so I got a sandwich at the cafeteria yesterday. So I'm bringing that. I'm not super excited to eat this, but this is the best I've got. And I think before I leave, I'm gonna have a peanut butter banana sandwich just so that I don't get hungry during class. My quest for efficiency often ends up in me being late to places, but I also don't like getting somewhere early and then having to wait. So sort of a compromise for me is trying to get somewhere early, but then using that extra time to answer emails or something, because I find that the extra sense of time urgency helps me get through those emails a lot faster. I've also been getting through emails a lot faster because of Superhuman, who are the sponsors of today's video. I'm not very good at emails. I have a tendency to open my inbox, get overwhelmed with the stuff in there, tell myself I'll do it later, procrastinate, and then never get back to people. My current inbox number, and I want to show you how things looked before Superhuman, is 10 in my work email, 9 in my school email, and 43 in my personal one. So what Superhuman has done is they have basically redesigned email. Look at how beautiful this looks. Basically, each email in your inbox is treated as a task that you have to do something about. You're going one by one through your emails, deciding, reply to this one, send it and mark it done. This email I'm gonna get to before I go to bed. I'm gonna forward this email. I'm done with this one, I've read it, there's no other action needed. You decide what you're gonna do with every single thing in your inbox, and before you know it, you're at inbox 0. So what I love most is all of these keyboard shortcuts that I conveniently had pop up on the screen. Pretty much everything in Superhuman can be done entirely with your keyboard. Anytime you forget a shortcut, you can just do Command K and search for it. Another feature I love is the split inboxes, especially for my personal emails, so that I can gather, for example, all of the newsletters that I'm subscribed to. they don't clutter up the important emails that I have to respond to. I have a split inbox for updates, so like order information and stuff like that. I have one for travel updates. In my YouTube email, me and Maya's my assistant, basically she goes through my emails first, and anything that I need to take a look at, she'll tag it with that label, and so I have this split inbox where I know that this is what needs my attention. Your calendar actually comes up in the sidebar whenever a date is mentioned in the email, and you can actually create an event from that sidebar. You don't even have to open up your calendar separately. And those are just some of the features that I love about Superhuman. So if you also want to get to inbox 0 faster than you ever have before, use this link and give Superhuman a try. So in my writing for media class, we had a 3-hour session and we learned and practiced how to write a lead for a hard news story. Once in a while, inevitably in class, something is gonna go wrong with the Zoom, or like the professor won't be able to access an article and we're just gonna be sitting there waiting. So I always like to have some backup task that I can do in any free time that I have. And today I used that time to plan my trip to Madrid the following day. I made this super fancy Google Maps and compiled all the recommendations that you guys sent in on Instagram. Luckily, we actually got to leave class 15 minutes early, so I did have time for a quick lunch before writing skills class. I honestly can't tell you much of what happened in this class, but we did have an assignment about in-text citations, so that is what we're learning about. We're doing essays and bibliographies and stuff. I had an 1.5-hour break in between classes, so it wasn't worth going back to my dorm. Instead, I found a comfy place to sit and had my weekly meeting with my assistant to work on planning content and setting goals for the month. My last class of the day was globalization at 6 p.m. This is globalization and cross-cultural communication, and once again, I can't tell you much of what we learned in this class. So normally I would use the 30 minutes before dinner to post on Instagram, upload some stories, respond to comments, respond to DMs, but today I'm not going to do that. Today I'm going to talk to you. A lot of people have been asking me how I deal with feeling overwhelmed, and honestly so far I have not felt that overwhelmed, but that is by design. I knew coming into this that YouTube would take up so much of my time. Like last week I time tracked and I think I spent 38 hours on Bliss Bean stuff if I remember correctly. So my attitude was always like, okay, when it comes to classes, I need to be efficient. But yeah, just trying to be efficient with my homework, only do what is necessary for each class and also not join too many clubs. I think what I'm gonna do, at least for this year, is this volunteering club that does events once or twice a month. And then I was also kind of interested in investment club, but we'll see how that goes. I did not join any newspapers or magazines because I feel like I get enough of that in my classes and with my YouTube channel, and I know that if I were to join a publication, like it would just completely suck me in. On a similar note, I am not going for any leadership positions in any club, so I'm keeping my freshman year very, very minimal, as you can see. So yeah, I guess just like my advice for feeling overwhelmed is like understand that you don't need to do everything, especially if doing more things is gonna come at the cost of your well-being. So like pick a few things that you really, really want to do and then do them well, because if you're sleeping enough and you're taking care of yourself and you're resting, that's when you're gonna be able to do the best in those activities that matter the most to you. It's really important to me that I just allow my brain to rest and socialize during dinner. No distractions, no work to do. I also like to linger a little bit after I'm done eating just to talk to my friends. And then on this day, after dinner, I went and visited a friend's dorm because I wanted to see her projector. I've been thinking about buying one for my room. And we also got an impromptu concert from my friend and her guitar, which is really nice. So after dinner and a concert, I showered, I tidied up my room, watched an episode of Ted Lasso with my family, and then I felt ready to do another chunk of work. So this actually didn't really take any long. I just responded to any last few emails that I had. I responded to anything that I asked Superhuman to remind me of later in the day. I also labeled my hostel reservation and bus ticket emails with a travel label so that I have easy access to them for my Madrid trip the next day. Finally, it was time for my bedtime routine. So at the end of the day, I like to review my to-do list, update my budget, write a journal entry in the Day 1 app, update my habit tracker, brush my teeth, and do my skincare routine. I usually don't have 3 classes in one day. I didn't have any classes on Monday and Wednesday this week actually, so that's when I did all of my filming, podcasting, editing, etc. That's why it's really important for me to do my weekly planning and see in advance when I'm gonna have busy school days and when I can do my YouTube work to balance the two. I do have a video on that if you want to watch it, but for now, it's time for me to grab my Kindle, read a little bit of Dune, and go to sleep. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week. Bye!